بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. My dear brothers and sisters, may the peace of the Lord be upon you and with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. In this episode of the life and legacy of Prophet Moses, we come to a place where the discussion between Moses and Aaron on the one hand, and Pharaoh and Haman and their group on the other hand, came to a dead road, dead end. On the one hand, Moses was asking Pharaoh to relinquish his claim that he is the highest Lord and to embrace the concept of monotheism, submit to the Lord, and remove tyranny and oppression from the Israelites. On the other hand, Pharaoh was looking down at Moses and telling his community that this man who barely have food to eat, he's threatening me. He's asking me to relinquish my tradition and my belief. And when they did not reach an agreement and Pharaoh was unwilling to listen, here comes the confrontation between them. First, started with the threats. So Pharaoh says to Moses, and this is in Surah Al-Shu'ara, and I mentioned earlier that the story of Moses and Pharaoh is mentioned in almost 34 chapters in the Quran. 34 chapters to remind us of the importance of this man, his significance, and also his role that he played. And the role was not easy. It was very difficult, but yet he was able to overcome all these challenges because he submitted to his Lord. He was obedient to his Lord. So in this chapter, Surah Al-Shu'ara, Pharaoh says to Moses, قال لئن اتخذت إلها غيري لأجعلنك من المسجونين. If you come to accept another Lord other than me, I will make you among the prisoners. قال أولو جئتك بشيء مبين. Even if I come forth with a miracle that is very manifest and clear, you still don't believe? So there was a dialogue between them. So the war did not start without a dialogue. They had a long dialogue between them. And this is part of it. قال فأت به إن كنت من الصادقين. Pharaoh answered, he said, well, if you claim that you have a very manifest proof and evidence that I am not the Lord and there is another Lord over there, then bring him to me, if you are one of the truthfuls. فَأَلْقَى عَصَاهُ. Here, Moses cast his cane. فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. Behold, it was a serpent manifest, huge serpent, a real one, mubin, clear one. It was not magic. وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ. He drew out his arm or his hand. فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. Behold, it was white to the beholders. Here in this case, so Moses performed two miracles. One, casting his cane, which wasn't that big, and it turns into a huge serpent. The second one, he draws out his hand from his pocket, sometimes the Quran says, sometimes his bosom, and it becomes shining like a light for the beholders. Here, Pharaoh said, قال للملأ حوله إن هذا لساحر عليم. Truly, this is an expert sorcerer, a knowing sorcerer. He knows what he does. Look at what he does. He's an expert in his field. His intention is to expel you from your land. يريد أن يخرجكم من أرضكم بسحره فماذا تأمرون. Pharaoh also used psychological warfare against his own people. He wanted to rally people around himself. He wanted to get people's help. So he used with them psychological warfare. He said to them something very serious and very dangerous. He accused Moses of trying to expel them from their own land and properties. يريد أن يخرجكم من أرضكم. And this is a very terrible sin, very terrible crime. Nobody is willing to leave his home. No nation, no group of people, no family would like to be expelled from its land and its property. This is a huge crime. No people are willing to accept this. So he used this psychology to cast fear into their hearts so they can support their leader against Moses. يريد أن يخرجكم من أرضكم بسحره. He wants to expel you from your own land with his own sorcery. فماذا تأمرون? What do you think we should do with him? And he pretended to be democratic. Sometimes dictators, they pretend once in a while that they believe in democracy, they uphold democracy. So they ask for the advice. But again, sometimes they would work against that advice. But just pretending that we listen to our people and we seek their advice. So here, what did they say to him? They said to him that let's meet him. Let's meet with him. In another verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that قالوا إن هذان لساحران يريدان أن يخرجاكم من أرضكم بسحرهما ويذهبا بطريقتكم المثلى. Both of them are sorcerers, Moses and his brother. Their intention is to expel you from your land and your property, and also they want to change your lifestyle. وأن يذهب بطريقتكم المثلى. Your exemplary lifestyle, they want to change it. I remember one of the presidents said about the Muslims, he said they want to change our lifestyle in this country, which is not true, of course. False accusations. But this is how he garners help from his people. When he casts fear in their hearts, that, hey, be watchful. Those people are here. They are here to take over your churches. They will turn them into mosques. They will force your women to put on the veil, okay? And they will impose their own lifestyle upon you. And they want you to change your lifestyle. And some people get intimidated by these threats, by these accusations. This is a tactic, a scare tactic used by many tyrants, many dictators, to mislead their own nations. So here came the confrontation. فَلَنَأْتِيَنَّكَ بِسِحْرٍ مِثْلِهِ. What he said, what Pharaoh said, is that what you did is sorcery. We will come up with a similar sorcery like this. فاجعل بيننا وبينك موعدا لا نخلفه نحن ولا أنت مكانا سوى. So let's have a tryst, make an appointment, so where we and you come to that place and we face each other. And let's see who's the winner. So this is the time. Now the threats are over. Now it's the time, a new chapter, which is the time for confrontation, which is the most difficult chapter. Now this is the real work here. In the past, it used to be only rhetoric, verbal exchange. Now it is physical. It's a confrontation between the two. And it reminds me of the Christians who came to the Prophet, peace be upon him. And when they refused to believe in him, so he said, let's go for confrontation. But it was not physical confrontation. فَنَبْتَهِلْ فَنَجْعَلْ لَعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ. Let's go outside the city of Medina, bring our families together, and then invoke upon God to send his curse upon the party who lie, the liars. At that time, the Christian delegation of Najran, the cardinal, the bishop, they were smart, they were intelligent. When they saw that the Prophet brought his immediate family, he did not bring his wives, he brought his daughter, his son-in-law, and he brought Hassan and Hussein. So the cardinal said, I can see faces that if God is asked by these faces to uproot this mountain from here, he will do so. And I'm not going to confront them. And he withdrew. So let's see what happened between Moses and the sorcerers and the magicians. قال موعدكم. He said the tryst is the day of adornment, يوم الزينة. They decided to find مكانا سوى, neutral place. So he said the day where all people are gathered. Because Moses, he wants to make a huge declaration. He wants every citizen of Egypt to know about this, to know about his message. And Yawm al-Zina, a day of celebration, day of festivities. People with their families, with their children, they go out to watch these festivities. So he took advantage of that. وَأَن يُحْشَرَ النَّاسُ ضُحًى. And people are going to gather when the sun has risen high. So this is the beginning. Let's say about 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. where everybody is gathered in that location. فَتَوَلَّى فِرْعَوْنَ فَجَمَعَ كَيْدَهُ. So he turned, Pharaoh, after this discussion, he turned and he devised his scheme. فَجَمَعَ كَيْدَهُ ثُمَّ أَتَى. He devised his scheme. He worked very hard to bring the most expert, the most talented sorcerers of Egypt. And he seduced them with many promises, with wealth, with close position to Pharaoh. قال لهم موسى ويلكم. At the day of confrontation, which is يوم الزينة, the day of adornment, Moses, before he started the confrontation to show them his miracles, he wanted to advise them. And this is how it should be, my friends. The difference between a believer and non-believer. A believer would not like for people to die or to perish easily. So before he confronts them, he will advise them. He will provide them with an advice. He would tell them about the consequences. He will forewarn them about the results. And this is what Moses did. Because he wanted the salvation for all people, not just his own people. قال لهم موسى, he said to them, to the sorcerers, ويلكم لا تفتروا على الله كذبا. Do not forge lies against God. فيسحتكم بعذاب. He will punish you with severe punishment. وقد خاب من افترى. And a liar would fail. He would not be successful. Someone who forges lies against God will ultimately fail. فَتَنَازَعُوا أَمْرَهُمْ بَيْنَهُم. When they heard this advice from Moses in the beginning, there were thousands of people. Thousands of sorcerers gathered and magicians from all over the country, all over Egypt. They gathered for this confrontation. So they debated this issue among themselves. فَتَنَازَعُوا. Some of them would say, let's give up. Let's believe in Moses. He's right. We are wrong. Others, they said, no. Not until we destroy him. فَتَنَازَعُوا أَمْرَهُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ وَأَسَرُّوا النَّجْوَى. But they kept the result secret. وَأَسَرُّوا النَّجْوَى. They debated secretly. Then some of them said, قالوا إن هذان لساحران. Verily, those are two sorcerers, Moses and Aaron. يريدان أن يخرجاكم من أرضكم بسحرهما ويذهبا بطريقتكم المثلى. Their intention is to change your lifestyle, to expel you from your land, to do away with your exemplary way of life. They bragged about their way of life. They bragged about their culture. And they said, those two guys are going to change this exemplary lifestyle. And we don't want this to happen. فَاجْمَعُوا كَيْدَكُمْ ثُمَّ أْتُوا صَفًّا وَقَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْيَوْمَ مَنِ اسْتَعْلَى. The one who's successful today is the one who gains the upper hand. Then, at the beginning of the confrontation, قالوا يا موسى إما أن تلقي وإما أن نكون أول من ألقى. Either you cast or we are the one who cast first. قال بل ألقوا. Moses was smart. He said, you cast first. Let's see what happens. قال بل ألقوا فإذا, verily their ropes and their canes, حبالهم وعصيهم يخيل إليه من سحرهم. It appeared to them that they are moving in motion. يخيل إليه من سحرهم أنها تسعى. It's a magic. And they say magic deceives the vision of the person. You think that this is something real, but it is not. It's visionary illusion. فأوجس في نفسه خيفة موسى. This is very interesting. Although Moses, he has done this many times, casting his cane, and he knew he's right, and they are wrong. He knew they are wrong, and he's right. And he was confident, but still when he saw this scene, thousands of serpents and snakes moving in that huge arena, they call it Maidan. They went to a place which was so huge, which had the capacity of hosting hundreds of thousands of people. And that desert was filled with the snakes moving. فَأَوْجَسَ فِي نَفْسِهِ خِيفَةً. Musa, whereat Moses conceived a fear in his soul. Though he knows this is not real, but still the scene was so enormous, was so huge, was so fearful that even Moses, who was supported by God, he conceived a fear in his heart. قلنا لا تخف. Again here God is there. God is with him. He would not leave him. قلنا لا تخف إنك أنت الأعلى. Indeed, you are the uppermost. You are the winner today. So don't fear. وألق ما في يمينك. Now it's your turn to cast down ما في يمينك, what is in your right arm. تلقف ما صنعوا. تلقف means devour, swallows what they have made, what they have created. إنما, indeed, إنما صنعوا كيد ساحر. What they did, it is a sorcerer's trick. This is a trick. This is not real. A sorcerer's trick. ولا يفلح الساحر ولا يفلح الساحر حيث أتى. And a sorcerer would never be successful because he's not real. Those people who are not real in their life, those people who pretend to be real and to be good, but they are not going to be successful. Those people who are in reality, they are fake, they are counterfeit, they are not genuine, they are not sincere, they are not honest, are not going to succeed in their life. One day they're going to fail. Some people ask me, why such and such, though they are corrupt and they lie, but they are successful? My friend, this success is not eternal. This success is not forever. This success is not even real. Wait until you see what happens to them. This is not success. They take advantage of the naivety of some people to manipulate them, brainwash them. But soon people are going to discover the truth. Because a deceiver would not succeed. وَلَا يُفْلِحُ السَّاحِرُ حَيْثُ أَتَى. So, فَأُلْقِيَ السَّحَرَةُ سُجَّدًا. Wow, when they saw what happened, because they are sorcerers, they know what is right and what is wrong. They know the serpent that came from this small cane of Moses is not sorcery anymore. It's not magic, it's not a trick, it's real. So once they saw this, they realized that Moses is genuine. He's not lying. Therefore they threw themselves in a prostration. فَأُلْقِيَ السَّحَرَةُ سُجَّدًا. قالوا, immediately they declared, آمَنَّا بِرَبِّ هَارُونَ وَمُوسَى. Now we believe in the Lord of Aaron and Moses. بِرَبِّ هَارُونَ وَمُوسَى. قال أآمنتم له قبل أن آذن لكم. Pharaoh was very furious. They say they made a special stage for Pharaoh which was so high, and he was sitting on a throne at this very high elevated stage to watch over the entire area. So he saw everything, and he was furious when he saw his own magicians that he paid for them and he promised them. Now they prostrate and they say, we believe in the Lord of Moses, in the Lord of Aaron and Moses. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.